Force of law, the extent and the nature of police action which continues in Delhi against student protesters remain a matter of grave concern for India's democracy. The Supreme Court of India is seized of the matter. Seized means किसी मामले पर विचार करना, कब्जे में लेना. But it has done little so far to restrain the police. Restraint means रोकना, नियंत्रित करना, which appears to be acting outside of the law. To have an independent inquiry that examine the allegations being raised as is being considered by the court is one thing, but an accountable police, accountable means जवाबदेह, force would have swiftly acted to preserve its own honor and reputation, considering what is already available in the public domain. In male officers in uniform appears in video slapping a woman protester. Slap means thappad lagana, attempting to break down a lathi on the private parts of the girl. The Delhi police is actively pursuing protesters. Pursuing means पीछा करना, who were apparently present at the protest site, using facial recognition and other surveillance technologies, the legality of which remains dubious. Dubious means संदिग्ध and controversial. Controversial means विवादास्पद. Yet it has offered no response regarding the identity of the officer seen openly assaulting. Assaulting means हमला करने वाला. A young woman at public gathering. The Delhi police would not require any software or court intervention to identify and hold its own personnel accountable. All it needs is professionalism. Professionalism means व्यावसायिकता, पेशावर रवैया, and strict adherence. Adherence means उसे पालन करना और उसका पालन करना to the principle of rule of law. There is also simultaneous law enforcement sweep against freedom of expression, both online and offline, targeting critics of the government. The police appears eager to proceed against people merely for saying something. Abusive language has indeed, abusive means अपमानजनक गाली गलौज वाला, been used by some content creator against the government functionaries. If any of that warrant police action, the applicable law should be clearly cited and due process should be followed transparently. Due process मध्ये विधि सम्मत प्रक्रिया. Instead, there are reports of arbitrary police action. Arbitrary means manmana. Against arbitrary police action that appears intended more as intimidation than law enforcement. In intimidation means डराना धमकाना, targeting protesters, their families, and in some cases even social media platforms. At the same time, the police seems uninterested in acting against online mobs that are threatening and abusing protesters. The Delhi police has maintained that criminal infiltrated the protest. Infiltrate means गुप्त रूप से घुसपैठ करना. Those involved in violence must certainly be identified and brought to justice in accordance with the law. The force has also not explained the circumstances under which the pellets were fired at protesters. Police practice must adhere to established rules and standards, and any breach means todna, must be dealt with firmly. This is an occasion for both center and court to underscore a basic constitutional principle. Uh, Nobody, including the police, is above the law. The government should not appear to have gone back on its promise to the agitating students who called off the protest once their demands were met. The only that would only entrench means गहराई से स्थापित करना, और cynicism means निराशावाद, निंदक दृष्टिकोण. In cynicism and deepen resentment. Sentiments नाराजी, आक्रोश among the youth who turn up in their thousands at जंतर मंतर. एक बार वर्ड्स रिवाइज करते हैं. सीज्ड मीन्स किसी मामले पर विचार करना, कंसर्न विथ, एंगेज्ड इन, ऑक्यूपाइड विथ. एंटोनिम्स इग्नोर्ड, निग्लेक्ट. Restraint means रोकना नियंत्रित करना. Synonyms control, restrict, prevent. Antonyms encourage, allow, permit. Inquiry जांच पूछताछ, investigation. Accountable means जवाबदेह. Responsible, answerable, liable. Pursuing means पीछा करना, chasing, tracking, following. Antonyms avoiding or ignoring. Surveillance means निगरानी, monitoring, observation, watch. Antonyms neglect, inattention. Dubious means संदिग्ध, शंकास्पद. Questionable, uncertain, doubtful. Antonyms certain, genuine, reliable. Controversial, विवादास्पद. Synonyms disputed, debatable, contentious. Antonyms uncontroversial, accepted. Assaulting, हमला करना, attack, strike, beat. Antonyms protect, defend. प्रोफेशनलिज्म व्यावसायिकता पेशेवर रवैया कंपटीशन competence expertise efficiency antonyms incompetence unprofessionalism other means palan anupalan synonyms compliance observance obedience antonyms violation disobedience abuse means अपमानजनक गाली गलौज वाला in synonyms insulting offensive hurtful antonyms respectful polite due process विधि सम्मत प्रक्रिया लीगल प्रोसीजर फेयर ट्रायल एंटोनिम्स इनजस्टिस इलीगल एक्शन arbitrary मनमाना random capricious unfair antonyms fear unjustified reason intimidation डराना धमकाना synonyms threat bullying coercion antonyms encouragement reassurance infiltrated गुप्त रूप से बैठक करना synonyms penetrated entered invaded withdrawn departed pellets small round charre, short ammunition projectiles. Breach means ullangan, violation, infringement, contravention, antonyms, compliance, observance, constitutional principles, संवैधानिक सिद्धांत, entrench, गहराई से स्थापित करना, synonyms, establish, cement, strengthen, antonyms, weaken, remove, eradicate, cynicism, निंदक दृष्टिकोण निराशावाद synonyms skepticism distrust pessimism antonyms optimism trust resentment आक्रोश नाराजगी synonyms bitterness anger grievance antonyms contentment satisfaction forgiveness healthy tax India, which has a long history of addressing the challenges of undernutrition, has to pivot. Undernutrition means कुपोषण, pivot means दिशा बदलना, रणनीति बदलना. Pivot to attack the curious phenomenon of overnutrition that involving lifestyle have now laid at its door. The recent National Family Health Survey data showed that in India, while stunting means अवृद्ध शारीरिक विकास, growth retardation, underdevelopment. Stunting and undernutrition continue to be a cause for concern despite some gains, and the sharp rise in adult overweight, obesity, and diet-related metabolic conditions cannot be ignored anymore. Obesity means मोटापा. Metabolic means चयापचय संबंधी. Two unrelated developments have advanced the question of unhealthy diets in a very pointed suggestion that would nudge means प्रेरित करना, हल्का प्रोत्साहन देना, customers to make the right choices. First, a parliamentary standing committee has recommended mandatory means compulsory, front of pack nutrition labeling, indicating whether a packaged food products are high in sugar, and second in national consortium Consortium means Sangha Samuha Association Alliance has advised the government to levy a health tax on high fat. Levy means कर लगाना. Salt and sugar products enforce stricter regulation on their advancements. The Standing Committee on Customer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution also made a recommendation to include the sugar content in baby foods, attacking the excess sugar consumption issue right where it begins. The Consortium on Adolescent Nutrition, which goes by the practical names Let's Fix Our Food, is led by Indian Council of Medical Research, National Institution of Institute of Nutrition, and comprising several other comprising means से मिलकर बना हुआ other prominent institutions. Prominence with Pramukh or Prasiddha in India and abroad has recommended that government ensure a healthy school food environment, stricter regulation of marketing of unhealthy food and front of pack nutrition labeling. The efforts will be among the steps to tackle the rising burden of obesity and diet-related non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable means care sanchari rog that require a comprehensive strategy held by the government. Comprehensive means व्यापक समग्र, help means नेतृत्व किया गया. According to World Health Organization, since 2017, at least 133 countries have increased or introduced a new health tax. A junk food law came into force in Colombia in 2023 to tackle the high consumption of packaged foods. Additional tax on such food began at 10%, rose to 15% the next year and touched 20% subsequent years. Norway, Hungary, Denmark, Bermuda, Dominica, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines and the Navajo Nation has also specifically implemented taxes on unprocessed sugar and sugar-added foods, with the ICMR-NIN report indicating that over 17 million children and adolescents are affected by obesity and that this number can cross 27 million by 2030, there cannot be a better time to act on this suggestion that will go a long way in educating the consumer to make healthy food choices. Subsequent means बाद में का आगामी. Adolescents means किशोर. Undernutrition, कुपोषण, malnutrition, starvation, deficiency, and antonyms are nourishment, overnutrition, proper nutrition. Pivot means दिशा बदलना, रणनीति बदलना. Synonyms shift, change, turn, redirect. Antonyms continue, persist, maintain. Overnutrition, atiposhan, excess nutrition, overeating. Antonyms undernutrition, malnutrition, stunting. अवरुद्ध शारीरिक विकास means growth retardation, underdevelopment. Antonyms healthy growth, proper development. Obesity, मोटापा. uh, Corpulence, fatness, overweight condition. Antonyms slimness, fitness, leanness. Metabolic means चयापचय संबंधी, biochemical, physiological. Antonyms non-metabolic. Nudge means प्रेरित करना, हल्का प्रोत्साहन देना. Synonyms encourage, prompt, influence. Antonyms discourage, deter. Mandatory means अनिवार्य, compulsory, obligatory, required. Antonyms optional, voluntary. Nutritional labeling, portion labeling, food information label, nutrition tag. Consortium means संघ समूह. Synonyms alliance, association, coalition. Antonyms individual separation. Levy. Levy means कर लगाना. Synonyms impose, charge, collect. Antonyms exempt, waive. Comprising means से बना हुआ. uh, Consisting of, including, containing, excluding. Antonyms excluding, omitting. Prominence means pramukh, prasiddha. Synonyms notable, eminent, distinguished. Antonyms unknown, insignificant. Burden means boj, load. Responsibility, encumbrances. Antonyms relief, ease. Non-communicable disease, care sanchari rog. Synonyms chronic disease, lifestyle disease. Antonyms communicable disease, comprehensive, व्यापक रस समग्र. Synonyms thorough, extensive, inclusive, limited, partial. Helmed, नेतृत्व किया गया, led, direct, managed. Antonyms followed, abundant, subsequent, बाद का आगामी means following, later, succeeding. Antonyms previous, earlier. Unprocessed, unprasanskrit means natural, raw, untreated. Antonyms processed, refined. Adolescent, kishore. Synonyms teenagers, youths. Antonyms adults, elderly.